Hi, kids. Welcome back. We're on Joseph's journey through life. And last week, Miss Nancy made a mistake. I said that they were sitting down at the table and they were merry, all of them eating together. That part was right, but I think I might have said that Joseph had made himself known to him. He had not yet. So we're going to pick up right there and go on. This is part 8. I hope you've caught them all. Then Joseph could not refrain himself. And this is when Judah had been begging to let him stay in Benjamin's place. But Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him. And he cried, "Cause every man to go out from me." And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, "I am Joseph." Can you imagine how that those guys felt right then? Miss Nancy can't hardly imagine that myself. "Doth my father yet live?" And his brethren could not answer him. You know why? For they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, "Come near to me, I pray thee." And they came near. And he said, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt." Man, he remembers it all. Now, I don't know exactly how much time has passed. I could go back and figure it out. But anyway, now therefore be not grieved. He's reassuring them. They don't take to it too good at first, though. "Nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me hither. For God did send me before you," and here's why, "to preserve life. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in the which there shall neither be earing or harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance." Babies, it's true. It all happens just like he says. "So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God, and he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord of all this house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not. And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. And there will I nourish thee, for yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household, and all that thou hast, come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring your father down, my father hither, And so he's saying, hurry up and go get Dad. That's the way we would say nowadays. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept. And Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren and wept upon them. And after that his brethren talked to him. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. And it pleased Pharaoh well, and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto thy brethren, This do ye, lade your beasts, and go, get you into the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt. Now this goes back to how many times Joseph is a wonderful type of Christ. He's the middleman here between Pharaoh and his brothers and his dad, just like Jesus is between God and between us. He's the middleman. And ye shall eat of the fat of the land. Now thou art commanded, this do ye, take your wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones, for your wives, and bring your father and come. And that's Jesus' message to us too, come. And he wants us to bring our families too. Also, regard not your stuff, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours. Well, you know what? We ain't going to have to take anything from here. Couldn't if we wanted to, because heaven's going to hold everything we need, children. And the children of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. To all of them he gave each man changes of raiment, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of raiment. And to his father he sent after this manner: 10 asses laden with the good things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses laden with corn and bread and meat for his father by the way. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed. And he said to them, see that you fall out not by the way. He was saying, go straight home and get died. And they went up out of the land of Egypt and came into the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not. Parents do that. Sometimes things seem so good that they couldn't be true, but you know what? This was true. And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived. And Israel said, see how it switches back and forth between Jacob and Israel? It is enough. Joseph, my son, is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die. And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the God of his father Isaac. And God spake unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, here am I. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make thee a great nation. And he sure does. I will go down with thee into Egypt, and I will also surely bring thee up again. Now that's a promise. And Joseph shall put his hand upon thine eyes. And Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, and their little ones, and their wives in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him, his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed he brought with him into Egypt. Oh man, can't you just imagine the homecoming and the meeting of Jacob and Joseph? I wish I could have been there, but I am, by faith. I read this story and I love it. What a homecoming. But anyway, when Joseph couldn't refrain himself anymore, what did he do? He made everyone do what? He made them leave, didn't he? And then what did he do? He cried, and he told all his brothers who he was. I keep saying brethrens. It's either brethren or brothers. Sorry about that. Anyway, how did the brothers feel then? They couldn't even answer. They were so troubled, because remember what they'd done to him. I would have been troubled too. But how did Joseph comfort them? Joseph, always a gentleman, just like Jesus. He said, don't be grieved. He said, you guys might have done this in anger, or you might be afraid for yourselves that you sold me. But you know what? You didn't do it. God sent me. And why did he say God sent him? To preserve your lives. And then he said, 2 years of the famine have passed, but how many's left? 5. Remember the 7 fat cows and the 7 fat corns? So there was 5 left. And he told him to go and do what? He said, go and bring my father back. But anyway, what was Joseph to Pharaoh? He was like a father to him. You know why? Because he made him lord of his house, and he was a ruler in Egypt. And remember, at one point it said that he didn't even know what he had except for the food on his table. That's pretty good. But then what did Joseph say? He said, hurry, get you there, get my dad and come back. Don't tarry nowhere. And hurry up. What else did he say? He said, you'll dwell here. You, Dad, all of your children, their children. He said, bring everybody. I'll take care of you for the next 5 years. So hurry, go bring him to me. And then what did he do to all of his brothers? Brothers, there you go, I'm doing it again. He kissed every one of them, didn't he? And what did they all do together? They cried. Now, I don't know if there was happy tears, sad tears. I imagine it was a mixture of all of it. How did Pharaoh feel about all this when Joseph told him? He was pleased, wasn't he? And so what did he order him to do? He said, you go down to Canaan, get your dad, you bring him to us, tell him he can have the fat of the land, not even to worry about none of his stuff. I'll take care of it all. And he was happy to send wagons to bring them all in, wasn't he? All right. So what did Joseph do? He told them what to do and sent them on to go do it. So Joseph gave them all some clothing. But what did he give Benjamin? 300 pieces of silver. And then what did Joseph send to Israel, his dad? He sent 10 asses laden with the good things of Egypt. 10 she-asses. What was they loaded down with? Corn, bread, and meat. And what did the boys tell Jacob or Israel, their dad? They said, Joseph is the governor of all Egypt, Dad. And then they went ahead and told him, he wants us to bring you and everybody and all that we have. If we want to take it, we don't have to do that. And come to him. What did Jacob's heart do? It fainted within him. And why? Because he couldn't hardly believe it. It didn't seem possible to him. But anyway, then what did his spirit do, Jacob's? It revived, didn't it? And then what did Israel or Jacob say? He said, it is enough. All he ever wanted to do was see his son again. So Joseph is alive, and that's enough. Go see. Let me go see him before I die. And that's what they did. Who spoke to Israel in the visions of the night? The Lord himself, God said. And what did he say? I started to tell you. He said, fear not to go down. Who did he say would go with him? He said, because I'll go with you into Egypt. And sure enough, they are fixing to take their journey. And it's going to be one kind of a homecoming. Miss Nancy wants to say, babies, you and I, all of you that believe in Jesus and have asked him to save you, we're going to have a homecoming someday. It will be worth it all. We are going to be amazed at what we see. And you know what? I've got brother and dad and mom, not my mom yet, but my oldest sister. I've got a lot of people up there I want to see, but you know what? I want to see you too. You're my family. I hope to see everybody under the sound of my voice up in heaven. I'll see you guys next time, and we'll almost finish this journey. Bye, kids.